Hey everyone, so today I'm gonna do a quick review and some testing on a new power station I received. I received it for about a week now. I've been testing it and trying it out. So far I like it, and let me show you what it is. It's the Bluetti AC200P. It's got 2000 watt inverter, 2000 watt hour battery capacity. It's got lithium iron phosphate battery, which is a safe chemistry, and it should have about 6,000 cycles, I believe. I'll confirm that and I'll look and make sure. But it's pretty heavy, and I've been using it, so let me show you what it does. It's got a nice power button, like a futuristic power button. And it comes on. And let me show you what comes with it. So this is what it came with. It comes with a charging brick. Got a Bluetti logo on it. I've seen some that doesn't have the Bluetti logo on it. Some just a flat black cover on top. This one has a Bluetti logo on it. It comes with the manual, warranty card. It comes with the MC4 to a XT90 connector, a car plug with an XT90 connector, and the aviation plug with an XT90 connector. So this aviation plug has to be plugged in for you able to use these two right here, because this one plugs in, and then this end XT90 goes into this, and then the other end goes into your car or your solar. I have a scale here. Let's try to see how much it weighs. Let me go ahead and put it on top of this scale. So it weighs 61.4 pounds. Wow, I thought it would be about 50 pounds actually. It's actually a little over 60 pounds. It is pretty hefty. It's not something you want to move around a lot. Alright, let's see if it can run my AC unit, my portable AC unit upstairs. I have the AC200P up here. I'm going to see if it powers my my portable AC unit. I have that solar inverter downstairs, that green setup with the battery pack downstairs. It does not start up my AC unit. That solar inverter, it's about 2,400 watt inverter, but it could not start my AC unit. So let's see if this starts it up. Let's turn it on. Okay, let's turn on AC. On. Alright. We got power. Now let's see what turns on. Press the power button. Oh wow, it starts it up. That's pretty good. And it's running at 750 watt. And the compressor's on. I can hear the compressor running, and it's blowing cold air. So this power station is actually pretty good. It's better than my solar inverter. My solar inverter couldn't start this, even though it's only pulling about 800 watt and it's 2400 watt. It couldn't start it, but this one actually starts it. It's actually pretty good. Perfect. I have a solar setup here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move anything that's plugged in here onto the Bluetti. So pretty much the Bluetti is gonna replace this for now. I have solar input into it, and then I'm running some fridge, freezer, and my TV on it. So we're gonna move that over to the Bluetti, and we're gonna test it out. Okay, let's move some stuff over. Let's move my refrigerator. Let's see if it pulls anything. Oh, and let's turn it on. Let's go ahead and move everything first before we turn it on. This is my TV. This is my freezer, my full-size freezer. So it's a full-size fridge and a full-size freezer. So to turn on, you press AC, and then you probably can't see it, but there's an on and off. You press on. And there you go. It's getting, well, its surge is pretty good. So that's pretty good. It's holding that surge really good because it's 2000 watt, and my fridge and freezer pretty much surged up to 1300 watt. This is great. Okay, so let's plug in the aviation plug, and we'll plug in my solar. So the aviation goes here. It's aviation male. So you gotta get the red and the red to line up, as you can see that. And that should just locks right in. All right. And then here, my solar, I have an 800 kilowatt solar set up outside, but it's kind of cloudy. It's only bringing 81, 84 right now. The max I've seen on it, I get about 600 on a full day, full sunlight. So I'm gonna move this over. This is my solar. It comes in as an XT90. I got the solar plugged over. So here's the cable. So this is from the Bluetti, and here's my solar plugged into it. It's using XT90 also. And I'm getting about 75 watt. So I noticed you have to switch between car or, let me go back. I think it's in setting. And you have to switch the DC input source. It's either PV, let it focus. It's either PV or car. When you have it on car and you plug in solar, you're gonna get a fault alert saying that you over voltage. My solar is an 80 volt open circuit, and you need to make sure you put on PV or else you get the alert. But if you plug into your car, make sure you switch back to car for 12 volt. AC is kind of quiet. I think my this fridge is cycle off right now, and the freezer is cycle off, and the TV is off. Let me go ahead and turn on the TV real quick. My TV is on now. It's getting about 200 watt. It's charging at 70, 75. It's not sunny today. If it's sunny, I should be getting about 600. So this PV max input is 700 watt. It's 35 volt to 150 volt range. Under 35 volt, this probably won't pick it up. So you have to plug in your, if you have a portable solar panel, you're gonna have to put it in series to get it over 35 volt for this to come on to start charging. Okay, let me show you what's on it, what's some of the stuff that is on it. So you got the aviation plug here. This is where you plug in the brick charger in here. Then you have the DC output, which is another aviation plug. So you're gonna have to buy the from Bluetti, the aviation male plug for this. So that way, if you run any 12 volt, and you need something to run a lot of 12 volt, you would plug that in here and then you split it off. This is 25 amps, so it should give you a lot of 12 volt usage on it. And then you got your cigarette plug here. Then you got your barrel plug, 8 millimeter, 12 volt, 3 amp. So not a whole lot of amp on this one. I plug in my portable fridge. It pretty much over current it. So this is pretty low. So you probably want to switch to this if you want to run a lot of stuff 12 volt. Then just split it off from here. And then you got your PD USB-C Oops, I pressed the button. Go back. And then you have your USB to USB A, 5 volt, 3 amp. Same as this. So you got 4 total. You got one USB-C, 60 watt. You can plug in your MacBook, your laptop that uses USB-C. Then you got six AC output. I believe this is 20 amp. So you got 6 of those, and I'm using 3 right now. And then you have 2 wireless charging for your phone. This is great that they have 2, and you can charge it up, put it on there. So let's see some of the feature or some of the settings in here. So this is a new firmware. From what I've seen, people have the older firmware that actually shows. If I go into setting in BMS maintenance, some people actually show an option to go into the battery for each battery voltage. Mine doesn't. It's got the new firmware, so I guess they took it off of the new firmware. It doesn't show the temperature on here too. It used to show a temperature on here, but I think they took it off too. So the temperature only shows in that screen on the top corner. And I think this is the temperature is for the internal battery temperature. The date and the time is incorrect. I haven't changed it yet. So you press each button, you see the voltage. My solar is bringing in about 40 volt, 3 amp or so, which is equivalent to about 130 watt. And you can press DC. There's nothing on DC right now. AC, 120 volt, 2 amp. So it's got a lot of feature in here. The touchscreen is really nice too. It's quick. You don't have to press it too hard. It's actually perfect. Then you have the adapter. This is the AC charging. So we'll try to charge the AC with the solar here shortly. Let's go into settings. And then these are the standard US setting, 120 volt, 60 hertz. I have it on PV right now. Just remember, you charge it in a car, switch the car. Have an eco mode. Eco mode shuts it off after if it idles for a while. I probably really turn it off, but that's okay. Then you have your data, product info. It tells you the firmware version. I don't know what other version people are using, but I know this is the latest firmware. Because some people have, like I told you, they have that voltage screen that they can see. I don't see it. It says AC200. They haven't updated this one. AC200 is what first came out on Kickstarter, with the lithium ion battery. This is actually a newer version. It's got the lithium iron phosphate battery. Inverter charging info. Same screen as the other, pretty much. Same screen as the home screen. BMS maintenance. That's all it shows. It shows what the internal battery is. 52 volt. It's bringing in 4 amp. State of charge 82%. It's being discharged, actually discharging at 4 amp. And these are fault code. So when there's a fault, this actually lights up down here, or it turns yellow, and then you click on it, and then you see what the fault is. If there's a fault, this should be a darker white color here, and then you can tell exactly what it is. There's 6 pages, so it looks like it's got a lot of fault code that it can actually pick up. And that's pretty much it for the screen. Go back on home, and let's go and let's plug in the AC adapter. So I got the AC plugged in, AC adapter plugged in to the brick here, and this fan comes on instantly. So it stays on as long as it's plugged into the wall. So it doesn't go off even if the battery's full. It just stays on running. It's not as loud. The fan it's doable. If you're sleeping in the van, possibly maybe a little too loud, but I'm in the house right now. It's okay, it's bearable, but you can actually hear it. So let's go ahead and plug this into the, let me move the battery pack over. Sorry, not battery pack, the AC charger. We'll plug that in. And I should see AC coming up right there. 465. So you can actually charge the AC and have solar charging at the same time. The max charging on this is 700 watt, and the max charge on this is it's around 400 or so, mid 400 watt. So you get over 1,000 watt charging total. My solar is picking up a little bit. Yeah, so you can charge through AC and solar at the same time, and also power your device at the same time. So I'm only pulling 300 watt or so, and I'm bringing in over 1,000. So this is actually charging the battery instead of discharging now. Okay, we'll let that fully charge, and then my next test, I am going to do a battery capacity test on the AC side and the DC side and see what the efficiency are. And then later I'll take it out camping, fishing trip, do some more testing out there. I'll probably bring my microwave and see if we can run a microwave out there just for fun. All right, we'll come back when it's fully charged and we'll do the battery capacity. It's fully charged now. It's showing 100%. And looks like all the charging water's stopped. So let's go ahead and unplug the AC, and let's go ahead and unplug the solar. Okay, let's do the battery capacity test on the AC side. So I have my kilowatt meter here, and we're just going to do my TV, and we'll let that run. Okay, well, before I plug that in, let's turn on AC first. On. Oops, I double click. I didn't want to do DC. And let's reset my kilowatt hour. Okay, now it's all set to 0. Let's go ahead and plug the TV in. You can barely see that. Let's go to kilowatt setting. Okay, so now it's on 0. TV's pulling about 35-40 watt. Let me go ahead and turn it on. TV's on now. It's pulling about 200 watt. So we'll let that run until the battery is depleted, and we'll see what the kilowatt hour battery capacity test is. Okay, it is the next day now. It looks like it's completely depleted because even the power went off. Let's go ahead and check what the kilowatt hour is. So 1.597 kilowatt hour. So that's about 1.6 kilowatt hour. So that's about 80% efficiency. But I think it's normal because from other reviews I've seen, people are getting about the same 1.6 kilowatt hour. Okay, so we're going to charge it back up, and then we'll do the DC side. Let's go ahead and plug the charger back in. It's fully charged now. It's at 100%. So let's do the DC battery test. We're gonna plug in the cigarette adapter here, and then on the other end I have the XT90 connector that goes into my tester. It's plugged in, so let's go ahead and turn on DC. Press on. And we're getting 13.5, 13.6 volt. So this is regulator voltage for DC. And let's go ahead and, so everything's reset. Let's reset it real quick. Okay, now it's reset. And let's go ahead and turn it on. Let's try to get about 80 watt. $67. Alright. We'll let that run until it's depleted, and then we'll see what the battery capacity is. Battery capacity test on DC side is done. Take a look here. It's at 0%. And let's see what kilowatt hour we got. So we're getting 1497 watt hour, so 1.5 kilowatt hour. So that's actually lower than AC capacity test. So that make it about 75% efficiency. So I saw a Hobotech review. He got about 78% efficiency, and I think Jackery was getting about 79. So it's pretty similar. It's pretty close. I'm gonna do another DC test once I get my aviation plug. I'm gonna do a DC test on the 12 volt 25 amp side, and see if there's any difference. But once I get the aviation plug, I'll go ahead and do that test. So I'm gonna take it to the lake and on a fishing trip tomorrow, and see how it does. I'm gonna bring a microwave out there too. We're gonna cook up some stuff and test it out. Okay, I'm here at the lake. I brought the Bluetti AC200P, so we're gonna see what it does. Let me show you what I brought out here. That's the Bluetti AC200P I brought. It's kind of bright because it's dark right now. It's got about 68% battery left. I brought it here about 99, but I've been running my fridge right there, and then I'm also been running my microwave that I brought just to test it out. I got some sausage in here, so let's microwave the sausage real quick and I'll show you. So it's running the microwave just fine. And it's pulling, you can't see it, but it's pulling about 1400 watt right now. DC is pulling 36, which is my fridge. So that's pretty good. At least you can have a microwave out here outdoor. You can power my LED light also, but I don't have a cable long enough to reach over there. I forgot that it's also powering the rice cooker here also. This one's powered by another 300 watt on there. Let's go ahead and run that, and let's run the microwave again. I'll show you how much it's pulling. Yep, so it's running the rice cooker and the microwave at the same time. And then I'll show you what it's doing over here. So it's pulling about 1800 watt right now. Below 2000 watt. This is perfect, really. You can power anything in your household. And it's also powering my fridge at the same time too. Sorry about the low light. I think this is all I'm gonna record for tonight. It's getting kind of dark, so you can't really see me. That pretty much complete my test so far. I like the 2000 watt inverter. The 2000 watt hour, not so great. It looks like it does need some improvement on the efficiency, probably the inverter or some kind of electronics in there that's actually eating up the battery usage. I noticed when I left it on standby, it drains the battery about 5% or so every hour, around there. So I would say by morning or 24 hours, this battery probably get depleted or so, or probably halfway, at least halfway down. if you just leave it on standby. So it looks like it drains some power leaving on standby. But that's pretty much it. That's all the review for today. Subscribe and like or comment down below if you have any question, and I'll probably do another review on another power station next time. Thanks.